This is case number 21 CF 1848, State of Wisconsin versus Darrell Brooks. Matters tabbed to Judge Lau. Appearance by the state, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Sue Opper and Leslie Basie, appearing for the State of Wisconsin.
Thank you. And for Mr. Brooks.
Darrell Brooks appears in person in custody with attorneys Anna Keyes and Jeremy Perry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. And Mr. Brooks, I have reviewed a copy of this criminal complaint. I will find it does state probable cause as to each of the 5 charges before you. You're charged in count 1 with first-degree intentional homicide. That's a Class A felony, and that has a maximum possible penalty of being sentenced to imprisonment for life. That's for victim A. Count 2, first-degree intentional homicide regarding victim B, is a Class A felony. Again, the maximum possible sentence is a sentence to imprisonment for life. Count 3, first-degree intentional homicide regarding victim C, is again a Class A felony, and that's punishable by a sentence to imprisonment for life. Count 4, first-degree intentional homicide regarding victim D, again is a Class A felony, and that's punishable by a sentence to imprisonment for life. Lastly, count 5, first-degree intentional homicide regarding victim E, is a Class A felony. That is punishable by a sentence to imprisonment for life. And I, again, have found probable cause to each of the 5 counts upon my review of the pleading. So we will turn to Attorney Opper for her bail recommendation.
Thank you, sir. As to bail recommendation, Your Honor, I'd like the court to be aware of a prior criminal history as it relates to Mr. Brooks. I can advise the court he has arrest record from 3 states to include Wisconsin, Nevada, and Georgia. So, Judge, just based on his prior record, we obviously have very significant concerns about Mr. Brooks' flight history and willingness to obey the orders of the court. But we have to factor in, obviously, the allegations in this case as well. And obviously, I don't need to state Mr. Brooks is facing 5 consecutive life sentences if he's convicted on all counts in this complaint. I wish to notify the court, sadly, that today we learned of another death of a child related to this case. We do expect a 6th count for first-degree intentional homicide to be issued or added, to this case. I can advise the court that I am aware, I've been made aware through investigators that there are other individuals in critical condition. I think we've remarked on the number of actual injured parties in our complaint. It exceeds 60 people.
With that, I will set bail. I have no problem with the bail being recommended by the state. I'm an old guy who has been doing this for almost 40 years, DA's office, criminal defense attorney, 17, 18 years as a commissioner, both in Milwaukee and now in Waukesha. The nature of this offense is shocking. Actually, the detail I was not expecting here today, that two detectives, not lay people, detectives, not only tried to stop this, but rendered an opinion that this was an intentional act. You're presumed innocent, sir, but that's what the allegations are. And I've not seen anything like this in my very long career. It seems to be a very strong case for the state. Likelihood of incarceration, which is the other aspect of bail, is absolute. If you are found guilty of any one of these, a multitude of them, it's a life imprisonment sentence that must be meted out. So I have no problem. I just, with that bail, it's extraordinarily high, but it's an extraordinarily big case. It's an extraordinarily serious case with an extraordinary history of this gentleman, of fleeing, of hurting people, of not following court orders, not following criminal laws, not following just your societal norms. So I know that that's extraordinarily high bail. It's warranted here, and I am setting cash bail in the amount of $5 million.